Welcome to Three Count Commentaries. This is the one you've all been waiting for. Smart Tears. Uh-oh. Go live. Smart Tears. How are you guys doing? Oh boy. Oh brother. It's about that time. It's time for real to get into the tears. And we're gonna have fun. This is gonna be fun, finally. This will be my last video on CM Punk until he has some kind of response, which is inevitable, if we're going to be honest. I didn't see this one coming. We're going to start with probably the most demented Smart Tears yet. And this one is going to be very entertaining. But we're going to start it with a level of delusion so deep and wide that you could probably drown in it if it wasn't so dang old humorous. The Independent, a UK-based magazine / site, says, from Donald Trump to CM Punk, is 2023 the year toxic men finally get their comeuppance? So who's being compared to Donald Trump? The the guy who has gone on national television and says support LGBTQ youth. This guy is being compared to Donald Trump. Have mercy. These people are insane. They're insane. Okay? So he first starts talking about the Proud Boys and Donald Trump. We're gonna leap over that. You know, if you ever played that game Pitfall, you have to jump over stuff. We're gonna leap over that. We're gonna swing on past that. All right? And we're gonna get here. It seems to be a heartening trend that goes well beyond the political sphere. Professional wrestler CM Punk was officially fired from All Elite Wrestling yesterday after becoming involved in a violent incident with fellow wrestler Jungle Boy Jack Perry that spilled over to involve the company's billionaire owner Tony Khan. The incident was the culmination of 2 years of malfeasance by the so-called best in the world, which is a cool nickname that only sounds cool until people realize you picked it yourself, including brawling with the company's executive vice presidents following a pay-per-view last year. Like the other men in this article, Punk was able to hold on to his position despite his behavior due to his popularity and perceived indispensability to the company, despite being a clearly toxic locker room presence. Holy hell! Holy hell! This guy, he's British, by the way. So all you Brit bombs who look, I don't know why the British are like this. What is up with Great Britain, the UK? What's up with y'all, man? Why are y'all like this? Why are all of y'all wrestling fans? There's just so many. Why are all of you guys wrestling fans? And why are all of you demented wrestling fans? This guy's a psycho. Donald Trump was accused of trying to overthrow the United States government with a bunch of grandmas with no guns. But we've gone from that to, well, CM Punk is a toxic male who was bullying our good buddies, the Elite, and he finally got what he deserved. And this thing wasn't even over, by the way. It's not over. He says, I know that Punk isn't quite on the same level as some of the other examples, but as a wrestling fan, it's just heartening to see some accountability in an industry that sees so little. And to such a deserving candidate at that. Wrestling may be fake, but what you're going to do, brother, when basic human decency runs wild on you. Holy hell. What are you going to do, brother, when basic human decency runs wild on you? These British, man, what is wrong with these people? Did we kick the British ass so badly that all of them, outside of the boxers and maybe a couple of MMA fighters, become absolute wusses? What has been going on in that country? Do they even put fluoride in the water in Britain? Like, that country is full of nuts. This is, oh my word. Ooh, we started with a good one. Now we go over to Elon Musk's app, and we're gonna trudge through some of the responses. I actually was very surprised that the letter where CM Punk got fired has 53,000 likes. 53,000 likes for CM Punk's firing letter. And like half the accounts that I follow ended up liking this and retweeting it is how I ended up seeing it. Shocking that someone this toxic and self-righteous would have a hard time getting along with people. I'm shocked. I am also shocked that young Philip was fired. That's ridiculous. Did Tony cry when he signed his pink slip? The only guy that drew a damn in that company is now gone. Too effing funny. Yeah, brother. Oh, brother. I think people are overrating CM Punk's drawing power, but I don't know that much about it. I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm not the accountant. Tony Khan's the accountant. Oh boy. So somebody says, don't worry, guys. CM Punk can just go back to his old job. And it's just a video of him getting his ass kicked in UFC. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Oh, brother. This is a happy AEW Collision Day. Oh, God. These people are nuts. I swear Tony Khan needs to act better and be responsible. AEW has so many problems inside the company and has almost lost people like MJF. Now Punk and other wrestlers in the past. The company won't last long if they keep doing so many irresponsible choices. I'm sorry, but firing CM Punk was absolutely responsible. He should have fired him last year. Oh, brother. I was about to say, man, no, Matt Jackson didn't, but I forgot. It wasn't the real Matt Jackson. I'm tripping. All right. So I almost got too excited. I was about to say, no, they didn't do this. Where does this rank among high-profile terminations in wrestling history? Well, I think it's maybe Ultimate Warrior tier. It's maybe Ultimate Warrior tier in terms of guy gets fired while he's one of the top guys in the company, completely derails his momentum while he's on top. I don't know. It's a kick in the balls, that's for sure. Wrestling fans are being delusional again. They think that Will Ospreay, Edge, Mercedes Moné, and maybe even Bill Goldberg will come to AEW now that CM Punk is gone. I mean, get real. I know Tony Khan has tons of money, but get real. I could just smell the shit from here. There's no way that you're going to be able to get any of those guys to sign over after. Well, none of them are going to do anything stupid like get themselves fired. So it is what it is. AEW gained number 1, happiness of Bucks, Cutler, Ziggler, Lights, their nepotism hires, etc. 2, less backstage fights. AEW lost 1, their biggest draw. 2, biggest merch seller. 3, biggest nemesis of MJF. 4, collision show. 5, chance to sell 80,000 tickets in 2024. 6, few fans. 7, millions of dollars in TV deal. Well, as long as the Young Bucks are happy, I guess. We'll see what's going on with this whole. Are they going to lose Collision and lose their TV contracts? We'll see. I think they're going to give them the opportunity to fail on their own first, but I don't automatically think that this whole thing is done. Just because CM Punk doesn't work there anymore. Thank you, Lion 2012. I appreciate it. He was a cancer in the locker room. This was the right decision. Edge is a proven locker room leader and will immediately make up for the loss. Well, I think you're asking for too much. If you're thinking, we can fire CM Punk because we're going to get Edge. I don't know. I, what they say, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. You probably, if you were looking for a locker room leader, I'm not sure that just saying, oh, we're gonna fire CM Punk because we're gonna get Edge. I don't know. Edge ain't quite signed the contract yet, but it is what it is. AEW is all out of CM Punk. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. All out of CM Punk. I don't understand how I'm still tripping over this guy being compared to Donald Trump almost immediately. Like that's brain dead material right there. I started watching wrestling again when CM Punk came back. It's going to be hard, but man, I love so many wrestlers at AEW that it's impossible for me to stop watching. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's very, very real. Very real that, you love so many guys like Brandon Cutler and your new favorite wrestler, Dralistico, or whatever the hell, right? Get out of here. This is the cut that will kill AEW. Chicago market will die off first, then Collision. And let's not talk about the perception that gives the already divided talent. In my opinion, there is no growth after this. I'm not going to say that. I mean, come on, you're being ridiculous. Their growth is certainly going to be capped because there's nobody that they can bring in that's going to have the same cachet as CM Punk. And it was only the cachet because he left in such a way at WWE and was gone for 7 years. They blew that load in 2021. And it's not quite the same now. To any fans attending All Out, any other Chicago events, your hometown hero bailed on you. He chose to apply physical violence to talent, not the first time, rather than be a grown man and take a different approach. Don't be mad at TK or AEW. Be mad at Punk. He's not for you. Oh, what do you mean he's not for you? Maybe I want these people to have their asses kicked. Maybe that's what I like. Maybe Jack Perry needed his ass beat. And who's to say I'm against that? I might not be against Jack Perry getting his ass beat. It is what it is. I don't know if people celebrating sits right with me. Yes, there have been problems, and I'm not saying Tony Khan made the wrong decision at all. But a man lost his job. A man who has obviously been unhappy and struggling for some time and must be hurting right now. Are you serious? CM Punk is one of the most miserable pieces of shit on planet Earth. This has done nothing but gas him up even more. This has done nothing but gas him up even more. This is now he hates the entire wrestling business. He hates the two biggest companies. Well, all three of them. I think he hates Impact too, if I remember correctly. Here's another one. I'm walking back my fandom of wrestling as a whole. Probably not going to live tweet and more AEW shows for a while either. And after Arthur Ashe, I think I'm going to take a break from watching at all. It was fun while it lasted, my friends. Amazing that this guy's going to say, well, I'm going to walk back my fandom. I'm not going to even watch this stuff anymore, but I'm going to watch it for another couple of weeks because there's a show I want to see. I guess. Typical wrestling fan. I'm not going to watch this anymore, but I will watch this one last thing. Just one last thing. I'm going to watch that. One last thing. Next. All of this toxicity and these distractions pulled my attention away from why I love AEW in the first place. I hope AEW can get back on track to what we all want to see from it. I just want to watch some professional wrestling. What's on? Oh my God, these people are absolutely what? I just want to watch some professional wrestling. Was he in the way of your professional wrestling? I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? He wasn't in the way of your professional wrestling. This might be the softest outcome of a pro wrestling altercation in recorded history. Needless to say, episode 215 will be toxic. Broken pencil logic. What is this? Is it a podcast or something? It looked like a podcast to me. TK put his foot down and his boss hat on. Tough decision, but the right one for AEW. Oh, brother. Oh, people are smoking the pack. Oh, they smoking the pack. Oh, smoking that CM Punk pack. These people are nuts. I I didn't know people like literally put up the pack that they're smoking. Like that's very, very bizarre. I remember when this thing first popped up, people were not saying that CM Punk was fired. They were saying he was terminated. Like it was two different things. CM Punk defended himself and got fired. So I guess him and the Divas got something in common. I don't understand. What is this in relation to? I don't know what that's in relation to. But he was defending himself from Jack Perry, who was just shit talking him in a promo. He didn't need to put his hands on the kid, but whatever. If you say so, brother. What more can you say? So here's a question to ponder for the CM Punk stands and or nut huggers defending his every move. Substitute Punk in all the most recent incidents with your most hated member of the Elite. Now this member of the Elite also got fired. What do you say? Do you defend them too? I rarely defend a wrestler for getting fired. I very, very rarely defend a wrestler for getting fired. I mean, it is what it is when they do get fired, you know? The fact that Adam Page went off script on live TV to suggest that CM Punk got Colt Cabana fired shows that Page should have been fired. This is a fun game, huh? Maybe we trace this back to the beginning when it should have been dealt with. I don't think you fire Adam Page for being a dickhead. Like, there's fireable offenses. Putting your hands on people is a fireable offense. Being a jerk is just being a jerk. You just, tell that dude to stop being an asshole, stop being an idiot. But everybody else, I would not say that you fire Hangman. I say you don't hire Hangman Page in the first place because he's a pussy. But other than that, it's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. It's I can help. Wait a minute. What's going on here? What is this one? Kenny Omega drinks a Pepsi. CM Punk has a Pepsi tattoo during being the Elite and said it tastes like lighter fluid. And then Kenny Omega says it's water with electrolytes. Stop it, please. Oh, what? I thought that was just Gatorade. It's very bizarre. I'm trying to find a trove of CM Punk termination things to make this a little bit more fun. They calling it the last dance. Oh, these people are nuts. Yes, we realize that CM Punk had 2 contracts. Nobody's going to ask Tony about it. Wait a minute, what's this?
I guess I can't believe that this is happening, but I am so happy that I got to go to Toronto and see Collision and bring this sign here. And Toronto didn't really love CM Punk that much. His tenure with AEW was, of course, marred with controversy. Like his WWE run, this was a bit more real, though.
Shut up, idiot. I don't know what's going on here. What was that guy? I tried to give him a chance. I let him take the stage, but he's just a smiling goof. Breaking Fartful has released a transcript from the phone call between CM Punk and Triple H following, Fallowing, which is certainly not how you spell following. Punk's announced termination from AEW. Hey, Paul, Triple H is back. Click. Yo, these people wild, bro. Oh, brother. These people, I don't know, man. What are they talking about? AEW unlikely to fire Ace Steel. What the hell do they even have Ace Steel for? again, I fail to see, and I've been looking. I've been honestly looking, just very honestly paying attention, trying to figure out what Ace Steel actually does that matters, and I haven't found anything yet. Here's another one. I used to pray for times like this. Hashtag fuck CM Punk. That's nutty. That's crazy. Uh, mm. All Out was fucking awesome, and Pinhead Field being gone made it so much better. Hashtag fuck CM Punk. Wow. Wow. CM Punk was the only reason I was watching AEW wrestling. Since he's gone, I'm done. That's very unfortunate. I feel bad for a lot of those kids, man. The only reason I was watching is because of AEW. I was watching because of CM Punk. And it's like, well, that's too bad. That's entirely too bad. CM Punk is a bitch. No 40-year-old. Oh, CM Punk is a bitch. No 40-something-year-old man should be causing this much drama at his workplace. Nazis are still a thing. They want to uphold the same ideals as Hitler. They can be called Nazis. CM Punk is a Nazi? What? CM Punk is a Nazi? I don't I don't get that one. What is wrong with these people? How do you get that CM Punk is a Nazi out of all of this thing? Oh, they posted the John Moxley clip. We gotta play the John Moxley clip.
CM Punk just didn't turn out to be what you wanted him to be. He didn't turn out to be what any of us wanted him to be when we welcomed him back in this business, gave him a second chance in the greatest sport in the world. It just didn't work out. And while I am truly sorry for that, I know he's a boy. I know he's from Chicago and you love him. I have zero sympathy for CM Punk. And that is because CM Punk, fragile ego, fragile body, weak mind, weak spirit.
Oh, brother. They love that Moxley. See, no wonder Punk and Moxley don't get along. So much fuck CM Punk. I was not expecting this. It's just some of them are just posts that just say fuck CM Punk. The rise and fall of CM Punk, the self-destruction of an egomaniac. 100. Hashtag AEW has rolled out the red carpet for Punk multiple times, and he repeatedly shit on it. He is an ungrateful diva who has more than soiled his own legend. Oh, wow. He has more than soiled his own legend. I think the part of the problem is y'all made him a legend in the first place when he was just kind of a guy on the roster, and then y'all decided he was a legend. And I'm just kind of like, why did y'all do that? You're like, he's not, fucking Shawn Michaels or nothing like that. He's just a guy on the roster. You dig? Just, it's weird. Let me find some more. How are you guys doing? CM Punk equals troublemaker. Well, he is a troublemaker. That much is for sure. I mean, but he's a headache, And the crazy thing is, WWE told them. Dante Jaron says, maybe I'm in the minority, but how come I don't remember Hangman's promo that started all of this? Did anyone besides Punk know what he was talking about in that promo? No, that's the thing. It was so vague that nobody really paid any attention until the dirt sheets made a big deal out of it. And Punk ended up making a big deal out of it. If he would not have reacted and sold for that stupid thing, we would have been okay. It would have been fine. I promise. but he had to go and flop like a fish over it. And then, of course, that ended up being the new thing. Me, CM Punk, you have to stop. You beast too much. Your swag too different. Your bitch is too bad. They'll kill you. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This guy says, me, CM Punk, you have to stop. You beast too much. Your swag too different. Your bitch is too bad. They'll kill you. What? Huh? CM Punk was my favorite wrestler for years. I refused to believe what others said about him, but during his time in AEW, he was given too much freedom and kept abusing it. Tony Khan did the right thing. Let's enjoy a better AEW. Oh, brother. He's, let's enjoy a better AEW. Oh yes, the crying man. I forgot all about this guy. Can somebody please find that guy? The guy who was weeping when CM Punk came back. Oh man, find that guy. I know he's got to be on suicide watch. Because Punk is not only gone again, but was gone from being fired. Ooh, brother. Oh, brother. Punk gave y'all a boost in the ratings when y'all needed it. He done so much for the company. Yet Khan, the Young Bucks, and so many others screwed him over for nothing. Sad this could be the end for CM Punk. What? Good riddance, CM Punk. Good to see Tony finally man up as a boss. They're going to hate him in Chicago now. Is that real? Oh, did anybody hear the Crimea River chant they did in Chicago? Oh, that was classic. That was classic. That was fun. By the time this thing is over, I'm gonna play the Crimea River chant, and I want to hear that all the time now. Wow, y'all just lost one of your best wrestlers that brought in the views, made people fall in love with pro wrestling again, and was one of your top merch sellers. Big mistake. I don't know if it was a big mistake. Look in my eyes, what do you see? CM Punk trying to go back to UFC. I don't think so. He got beat up and fired there too. I mean, this is ridiculous, you know? Oh no, they got John Moxley smoking the pack now. Oh, these guys are wild. These people are wild. They're crazy. Crying at CM Punk getting his own show, then getting fired. Peak Phil. Yeah, just shoot himself in the foot and then claim you did it. I've needed a reason to ban wrestling in this house. No CM Punk, no AEW. Sorry, not sorry. So because CM Punk not on the show, you not watching wrestling at all? Okay. I mean, I sure. Oof. Let me get this straight. Punk didn't get fired for what he fought the EVPs of the company after going nuclear on them during a presser, but he got fired for fighting fucking Jack Perry after Perry called him out on live pay-per-view. Make it make sense. Well, he created what's called a pattern of behavior. Once you create a pattern of behavior, people look for ways to get out of this. Hashtag AEW. I see CM Punk hanging up his boots permanently after this. WWE fired him, and that wasn't his fault. Yes, it was. He disappeared for 6 months. He felt he could do whatever he wanted in AEW, and look where it got him. The media scrum. Heat with Hangman Page over, quote, that promo. His beef with Jack Perry. No sympathy. Bye-bye. These people are... I didn't know how many people were literally on the side of the Elite. I didn't think people would really like the Elite like that, but they do apparently. Absolutely crazy, disappointing, and the correct decision on all fronts. Such a shame that Punk couldn't control himself, and we won't be able to enjoy his talents on screen anymore. Hope he gets help. I think most of us now start thinking there's something wrong with CM Punk. I think Kevin Nash, in his comments about, maybe Punk needing some mental help, I think that he unlocked the door that now more people can talk about it. I hate this company. I hate this company. So many people talking about they free. Like he was holding you hostage or something. Oh, brother. And now we heal. I heard that. I've heard that too. That CM Punk being fired was all about healing, and now AEW can coalesce around the Elite once more because now CM Punk is gone. So there's no need for the pain and the wound. Everybody can celebrate and do victory laps. Ridiculous. Oh, Phil, pretty much every match was great. Pretty much every promo was gold, regardless of what has or hasn't gone on. This all feels like something that could have been nipped in the backside by some strong, stern management a good while ago. CM Punk, man, be well. Ugh. It's a glorious day right now. Good riddance, asshole. Oh, brother. Ugh. I need the WWE girls to stage a preemptive meeting blackballing him from coming over there. Why would they do that? I think like Natalya might be the only one that's actually worked with CM Punk. Just about everybody else didn't show up until after he was gone. So why would they have a problem with CM Punk? I don't know. Seems weird to me. Whatever potential there was in Punk versus Starks, Punk versus MJF, and anyone else was 1,000% not worth the headache. I'm glad TK finally took care of it. Now we can get back to actually long-term booking rather than changing plans every other week around Ego the Living Pepsi. Ego the Living Pepsi? Huh? Oh. Ooh, wait. Ego the Living Pepsi. So what's Jack Perry's punishment for provoking him? Y'all sent Punk to talk to him instead of handling yourself to begin with. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Because remember, the whole glass situation was about various people had already talked to Jack Perry about the glass. And then they asked Punk to go talk to him. And that's where this whole thing began. It's because apparently whoever else was in a similar position to CM Punk couldn't talk sense into that fucking idiot. I know he's talking about Ego the Living Planet from Marvel, but it doesn't make sense in this context. It just doesn't make sense in this context. Jungle Boy just turned face again from that dipshit Ryan Satin. What a dipshit that guy is. Why is this a positive thing, though? That's what I want to know. I don't know. But so many people smoking the CM Punk fat pack is crazy. Announcing this right before a Chicago pay-per-view, something's fishy, and it's not just Phil Brooks' coochie. Have mercy. Phil Brooks' coochie? Oh. Yes, let's fucking go. Fuck CM Punk. Hope you have a shitty life, you low life piece of crap. Woo! It was written just like that, I swear to God. Can finally get back to wrestling positivity. Cool moments, funny wrestling memes, and Io Shirai's ass being reposted every 2 weeks instead of Punk drama every day. They wanted the drama gone. They really did. These people are nutty, bro. They're nutty. They're a different kind of nutty. You know? Ugh. I'm looking at these people and there's so many gifs and everything. It's pretty funny. I'm sorry, is it pronounced GIF? CM Punk is back to flipping burgers. Flipping burgers. It's supposed to be flipping burgers, but this is what this person wrote. CM Punk is back to Dlipping, Dlipping, Burhers, Birhers. That's not only is that not English, I don't know what language that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, brother. Who is the Pack Watch? That's what I want to know. Because these people they've taken over this timeline over here. As a fan, I'm really bummed to hear this, but I get it. I'm not going to hate on AEW or Perry, etc. over it. It wasn't working out for these guys. I personally love to see CM Punk keep wrestling if that feels healthy for him and maintains a good environment for those around him. It's all about making everybody else happy, for Christ's sake. What are you talking about? Oh, brother. I don't know anything about a contract or if he signed a non-disclosure, but I can't fucking wait to hear what he has to say about this if he can talk about it. This company is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Enjoy Jungle Boy, internet lonely tubby weirdos. My guess is that when he eventually probably reaches for that contract, I mean that lawsuit, they're going to end up giving him some kind of non-disclosure and a settlement. He's going to end up with a settlement right now. No one is too big for AEW. Are they going to take a hit in ticket and merch sales? Perhaps. But I'd imagine people will be happier. Besides, this should light a fire under people to step up and be the next draw. It don't quite work that way. You have to get over with people first. And most people in AEW are not really all that over. They might be over to that audience, but they don't really attract people who are not wrestling fans. And that was the one thing CM Punk actually did do right, is when he did the pipe bomb promo, it actually crossed over into people who were not wrestling fans that was interested in what the hell he had to say. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's going to be hard to ask people to do that. You know, Tony Khan woke up today and decided to be a boss for once, and it sounded like he was pushed into it with a gun to his back. I didn't want to do this, but I had to. Oh, brother, I feel like my life was in danger. You know, as everybody's life was in danger, y'all. Thank you, Tony, for being a boss. I know this decision wasn't easy, and maybe the road forward was a bit tricky, but this is the important. There is a road forward. Oh, okay. Here's what I think about AEW firing CM Punk. Y'all throwing away the best superstar you ever had, and you're never going to get any of the good views, even in Chicago. And also, fuck you, Jack Perry. You're a true pussy. You're, not you are, but you're. And I don't mean you are. I mean YOUR. Oh, brother. Came back like a real nigga and leaving like a real nigga. Nothing but respect for my goat. It's the AEW Discipline Committee. Oh, brother. Uh, mm, Yeah. LMFAO. Punk is such an asshole. Imagine losing your job because you wanted to fight some 120-pound kid who calls himself Jungle Boy. If Jungle Boy 120 pounds, I'd be surprised. Punk thought he was Hogan. He surely did. He really did. He thought he was Hogan. He thought he was him, but he's not him. He ain't at all him. He ain't at all him. Oh man. Too thin-skinned to live, too. I'm sorry, too thin-skinned to live, too crazy to die. R.I.P. Sweet Prince. Uh, oh goodness. CM Punk is nothing but a fucking failure. Ha ha ha. Go flip them burgers, crackhead. He's a crackhead? Well, this is some bullshit. A lot of the people backstage are going to be happy about this. At AEW have gotten this far without at CM Punk. With that being said, thank you, CM Punk. Mr. Tony Khan, I have no words. A dark day for AEW. Well, he's about the same size as Just Incredible, if we're being honest. It's over. My childhood hero finally returned to the dance, got completely fucked over and mistreated by the company, spearheaded by the people doing all the mistreatment, was left fighting battles on his own, and has now been released for standing up for himself. Goodbye. And there's a video of a guy kneeling on some grass. What? Why are you so dramatic, my guy? These people are so dramatic. Ugh. People are talking about he should throw away the Real World's title. He should throw it in the garbage or something. You know what? He probably should. Punk, as talented as he is just too unstable to work with. His ego gives Hogan a run for his money. Well, that much is true. That much is true. Let's see if we can let's switch fares a little bit here. Let's switch fares a little bit. How y'all doing? If this was an angle, it would be the greatest since Reigns had a good angle. I don't know, man. What kind of angle would it be? Would be my question. You know, it doesn't make anybody look good. The point of an angle is for people to get over. Nobody gets over in this situation. Everybody looks like shit, and most of these people look like idiots. You know,
CM Punk.
Most of these people look like idiots. So I don't know what to tell you. To me, it says a lot that TK chose to fire him and talk publicly about it right before these shows. TK has bent backwards to help to keep quiet and keep Punk. For me, that says that whatever events actually happened had to be bad. Think of how harmful making the move is to this company. Harms 2 Chicago shows, made Tank a pay-per-view, and risk a show that was built for him to anchor it. That says a lot about whatever happened to me. But I doubt we will ever truly know. But it seems like this was the only move with all the issues that keep occurring since he came back. Phil Brooks let down so many people who rooted for him. He had so much goodwill, brought so many fans back who hadn't watched in years. That first appearance in the United Center now feels like a lifetime and feels so sad to watch now because it didn't and shouldn't have had to end this way. CM Punk is the Christopher Moltisanti of pro wrestling. If you ever watched The Sopranos, he was on top, made and should have been a success, but he didn't know how to get out of his own way. I totally did not understand where we was going with that. I totally didn't understand that. I've been a huge Punk fan for as long as he has been wrestling. I have loved his in-ring work, psychology, mic skills, and everything he has brought to the business, but I genuinely think he has serious mental health problems. And it's so good for AEW and the business as a whole that he is gone. WWE should not go near him at all, and I hope he gets help because in the end, he just sets fire to everything. Ooh. Oh, brother. Also, Khan should have McMahoned this and made it an interview and a statement saying Punk screwed Punk. Maybe. CM Punk was always going to be a volatile person in the organization. I think Tony Khan believed that they could work together, and for a while it appeared to be the case. However, CM Punk is not a good culture fit for AEW. He may not even be a good culture fit for any major wrestling company. Perhaps he should have been wrestling the last 7 years and learned to work with all these younger and up and coming talents. But his temperament, apparent anger issues, and inability to process setbacks, at least publicly, just cost him his best job in the last 5 years. What? Crazy. September 20th, 2021 arrives. June 2nd, 2022, injured. September 4th, 2022, back plus brawl out. June 17th, 2022, back. August 27th, 2023, gone. Not even 10 months on active roster, backstage fight. Not even 3 months back on active roster, backstage fight. That's a Punk likes to fight people problem. In my opinion, was bound to happen again. Oh, brother. TMZ won't let us down. I expect to see the footage soon. Oh, yeah, I expect that footage to come out. They're probably just waiting for it. They're probably just waiting a little bit. They're biding their time. They're biding their time when it comes to dropping that footage. Fuck this, man. Honestly, fuck this. I've been having an ass week, and this is just a cherry on top. Man, fuck that little bitch ass jungle bitch. Sonny Kiss, Sonny Kiss, very interesting. That nobody made a big deal at all about Sonny Kiss getting kicked out the door. But then again, it's been so long since he's been on TV, then I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they got rid of Sonny Kiss. It's like, what you need? You wasn't using him anyway, you know. I think CM Punk can be great at times, but his ego is reaching Hulk Hogan levels, and the cheeky references to him aren't funny. He has proven to be an incredibly toxic and selfish. I genuinely think he needs to seek therapy because of those anger issues are literally dangerous. Yeah, if any of these people could fight, he'd be in danger. You know, but none of the people he was fighting could fight. I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. He was very safe backstage. We won! We won! We won! Good, honest, hardworking, talented team players paving the future of wrestling and talent. Be egotistical, paranoid, obsolete has-been who always thought of himself above those who brought him into their family and was always going to self-destruct. This guy is saying, we won. Like he on the team or something. Like he got a jersey on or something. Where do these people get this stuff from? We won. What is we? Unless Tony Khan signed your checks too, you didn't win. I bet FTR are fuming. Brody King's volleyed a lamppost. Danhausen is rereading his contract to make sure he still has a job. Ace Steel has locked himself in a cupboard. If I was Ace Steel, I wouldn't even answer the phone. They'd probably fire him via email, but I still wouldn't even answer the phone. What an issue. LMAO, 7 years just for all this, just for this all-time fraud. Damn, he's a fraud now. Well, I mean, people are literally just very excited that he's getting fired. That's crazy. As a fan of CM Punk, I can't help but disagree with this decision. That being said, I hope Punk refused signing an NDA, goes scorched earth, and AEW ultimately collapses because Rich Boy didn't have the guts to be an actual wrestling promoter and fire his friends. Yeah, so much we. We. Like, what is this we? Are you on the team? Like, who? What team are you on? We won. Like, what? What the hell is we won? Mm. Ignoring the whole Jack Perry incident itself, the fact that after it happened, Punk physically threatened Tony Khan, who was his boss, is cause enough to fire him. Anyone who has a real job knows that making your boss feel threatened is more than enough to be shown the door. Brother, you have to understand the art of the work. No doubt they threw in all of that stuff about feeling threatened as a way of covering up that he was being fired. Okay? There's just no way that he legitimately going to attack Tony Khan. You know? It's just CM Punk is 2-0 in AEW's locker room. He's undefeated in locker room AEW fights, beating up sissies. His life was in danger. That was the most beta male thing a wrestling promoter could say. He's leading men. He's supposed to lead by example. These guys aren't toys. Leadership can be developed. May Tony find it. You got to be kidding me. It's so many. Apparently Booker T also has an opinion. Let's run this real quick because I know Booker T don't like CM Punk, so this ought to be fun. Blue Chew.
Sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Do it and do it.
What?
You know, man, let's get the elephant out of the room, man. We got to talk about it. Ace Steel. Maybe out of a job. Well, I heard anything about Ace Steel. You know what I mean? So I went to give Steel some love. You know what I mean? But
a year ago, you didn't even know who the hell Ace Steel was.
I'm still trying to figure out who Ace Steel is. But big news, man. Jungle Boy Jack Perry suspended indefinitely from AEW. CM Punk fired from AEW. Tony Khan made the announcement himself. And you know what? I must give Tony Khan a lot of credit. I mean, he didn't have to go out in front of that Chicago fan base and take that punt.
Wait a minute. Pause. AEW is finished to me. CM Punk was the only reason I watched AEW. Fuck Jack Perry. Fuck the Elite. Fuck the soft, childish kids in that locker room. Bring him home, Triple H. Bring him home? WWE is not his home. I hate to break it to you, but he don't want to be there. He hated the place. He was very miserable there. He lasted almost 10 years, but he was very miserable there. In AEW, he didn't last that much longer. And I think partly because everybody was being friendly to this guy.
And that abuse, but he went out there and did it. And I think at the end of the day, he got his point across and he turned those fans a little bit as far as letting those fans know, hey, I did this guy. I did this for you. This is something that we created. We created together with you guys and those Chicago fans. I must say they were a big part of it. Even before CM Punk came on board, I think Chicago was definitely a major play as far as AEW goes. You know what I mean? So I give Tony Khan a whole lot of credit, man. But I don't even know, where should we start as far as the CM Punk saga goes?
Well, I think we should probably, we can hear from the man himself. We can hear from Tony Khan. He did have an announcement that he put out. There was a press release earlier in the day that said he terminated CM Punk. Then he made the announcement on Collision. If people didn't see it, I think it might be important for them to get some context to what Tony Khan said. We're jumping in hot. Here's the announcement Tony Khan had before AEW Collision on Saturday with the news about CM Punk.
Today I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my professional career. Today I terminated Phil Brooks, CM Punk, for cause. This stems from a backstage incident at AEW All In last Sunday. The incident was regrettable, and it endangered people backstage. That includes the production staff, the people who help put the show on every week, innocent people who had nothing to do with it. I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. I've been producing them on this network for nearly 4 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show. I don't think anybody should feel that way at work. I don't think the people I work with should feel that way. And I had to make a very difficult choice today. It came at the recommendation of a discipline committee here in AEW, as well as outside.
All right, here's another one. I was just playing that one until I found some interesting stuff to read. Time for CM Punk to return. CM Punk. Yeah, right. I wonder if that Sally that cried when he debuted is crying now. I bet he's crying even harder right now. Man, oh goodness. I wouldn't want to be that guy. You remember how so many people went out and caped for that dude? He was a grown man. He was weeping over CM Punk. It was so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed for him. I think regardless of who you think is in the wrong, it is obvious that Punk has major issues with self-entitlement. Regardless of who is at fault, Punk has turned on people he called his best friend, turned on his former bosses, he has turned on his current bosses, he has turned on people he considered subordinates, he has taken every act and every liberty possible to come across as a power-hungry, arrogant prat, and has taken advantage of people's faith in him along the way. Ultimately, you can blame this all on TK's inability to captain the ship, but at the same time, a crew this disorderly is going to find holes in any boat, no matter how well it floats. That is actually a good comment. That's actually a good comment. You know? I honestly think CM Punk might be dealing with CTE or some kind of brain damage. His behavior is deranged. It's really worrying. I honestly feel like there's another Chris Nancy Daniel will happen just Phil in April. That or Phil will top himself and April will do the same months later. They were both destined for this. They were both simply too nuts. Now, I'm not going to go so far as to think that he's going to kill himself and his wife, or that he's even going to kill himself. I think that's a bit much. That's a little nutty.
He felt like he was in danger, and people who worked there were in danger, and that's why he decided, he and the discipline committee of AEW and an internal investigation, an outside firm, came to the determination to terminate the contracts, both the employment and the wrestling contract, from what the press release said, for CM Punk.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Khan did the right thing, getting ahead of the thing, not wait, after the pay-per-view, CM Punk don't show up. Fans really would have went crazy, getting in front of it and going up.
The live one was wild to me. When he did the live speech, that one was crazy because he was sitting there with his eyes closed, like it can't be real, like it can't really be happening to him. Like I can't believe I really have to do this, But 'tis real, sir. You have to fire CM Punk. Again, you should have fired him a year ago. That's nobody's fault that he took him so long. But Selena De La Renta went back to MLW. Well, that's dumb. I didn't need to see that. That was dumb.
Just being a man. And, I knew it had to be difficult. Speaking in front of that crowd, being booed. It took him about 6 minutes to get it all out. But I think it was something that was necessary for Tony Khan to do. And, is it Tony Khan setting up his defense in case the thing come to court? No.
Maybe in case.
No.
Going to court. Somebody's suing somebody.
Maybe. But Tony Khan has a whole lot more money than CM Punk. He can ride this thing out a whole lot longer than CM Punk. So if you're going to sue Tony Khan, you better be thinking about perhaps losing a lot of money because for a cause mean we had a reason to terminate him. That's almost like a breach of contract. I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but that's what it sounds like to me. And if Tony Khan is putting this out in the public, saying, "Hey, this is the reason why," and I'm willing to go into court and defend myself by proving this is what happened, he's got a case. If he's got witnesses, that are.
I feel the same way sometimes about Tony Khan. I don't think we the same age. I think he might be slightly older than I am. But to be so close in age, it's insane to think how different our lives were. And he has been so sheltered that it's almost an embarrassment that he doesn't have any experience going through stuff like this, and he's not sure how to handle it. You know, he was never sure how to handle it, and it's very difficult, I think, for me anyway, to really understand Tony Khan in this position. I've been trying to cut him some slack, I guess you could say, but it's just so weird, you know. It's so weird to know that there's people out there who are so conflict avoidant and who have never been in any real conflicts, that they behave the way that he does. You know, it's just weird, and I don't know what to say. You know, you just gotta respect it. You know, you just gotta appreciate that people are different. And soft ass people exist. You know, it is what it is. But it's not their fault. If you grew up with $100 billion or whatever, you'd be soft as hell too. You know. All right. Let's see. Let's see here.
Professional wrestler was, losing it and going off. He's got a case that he can win. So I don't think it would be wise to sue Tony Khan. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I just don't. I think you can lose a lot of money in that situation. Money that he's already got banked. Why throw that money back into the kitty? Why would you want to do that?
Well, let me ask you this. Let's get the elephant out of the room, because people want to know. Do you think, and I think you've kind of made this clear already, but do you think AEW made the right decision in firing CM Punk, terminating him from his contract?
Yeah, think about this for a second. We know Tony Khan and how much he loved the independent scene and those independent wrestlers, and he grew up on it. Ain't no doubt in my mind that if Tony Khan could have kept CM Punk, he would have kept him. He didn't give CM Punk all these chances, bringing him back, paying him all this money, for no reason. I mean, I don't think so. So I think Tony Khan did not what he wanted to do, but what he had to do for the sake of that company. I'm not there. I don't know the inner workings of AEW, but I know Tony Khan, from outside looking in, he went all out, okay, for CM Punk, to the point to where he gave him his own show.
Yeah.
That was a Punk show. Okay?
A lot of things can be true at once. Jungle Boy is a douche and borderline terrible employee for picking an argument with a guy 15 minutes away from opening the main card. Punk has displayed a history of escalating conflicts. Part of every job I can think of is get along with people around you so you can do the thing that ostensibly your job assignments. What? Long ago, I had to fire someone for being abrasive and confrontational to everyone they worked with. They were shocked at the news because they were very, very good at their job. I was too young a manager to explain that, quote, I'm a job title, but I'm a lousy at dealing with people, equals I'm not very good at my job. They're not different things. They're different parts of one thing. I think it's likely that the years plus the MMA have caught up with Phil, and his impulse control is damaged due to CTE. Not an excuse, just a forecast. What? Why are so many people saying he got CTE all of a sudden? Why all of a sudden he's got CTE? I don't know, man. You can't find out whether somebody's got CTE while they're still alive. I'm sorry. You know, his behavior might be weird, but his behavior's always been weird. This is a guy who got into it with Teddy Hart over something stupid too. He's got into it with people over stupid things quite often. It's a dumb thing for him to get into it with people from. You know, he gets into it with people over dumb things. No, the fight happened before Punk's match, WC Phil. It was before. That's the weird thing is everybody was so in danger that they actually let him go out and then have his match and then come back and then hang around and take pictures. Very, very scared.
I was happy for AEW. I think is as unfortunate as the situation is, and I've been very clear about my opinion of CM Punk from the day he showed up and predicted that it was going to be a financial flop. We could debate that, I guess, but it was a flop. It was a bad investment. It was a bad choice, and I think it would have been better in the long run had Tony made the same decision months ago when Punk had his meltdown in that press conference and made Tony look like a complete buffoon in the process. I would have pulled the trigger then had it been me, but it wasn't me, and I wasn't familiar with all those circumstances, all of the issues. There's a lot of things I didn't know, still don't know, as you pointed out earlier. So my first reaction is, man, I wish he would have done it sooner. But I was happy for Tony that he did it. I think Tony needed to draw a line in the sand. You know, at some point, you need to be a leader. And sometimes being a leader is really painful, because there's no good decision. There's only a correct decision. And the correct decision was to let him go. It's going to sting. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, probably in a lot of ways that aren't obvious to us. But it had to be done. It wasn't going to get better. You know, it wasn't like Punk was going to wake up one day and decide to be a team player. That clearly wasn't going to happen. So at what point do you just go, you know, I've had enough? And clearly Tony had enough. And I think he made the right decision.
Well, that's the thing, man. I think this decision will be debated for a long time. Like, what is ever the right decision? You know, like this could have went one of two ways. You could keep him, find a way to try to keep the band together, or just cut bait, cut your losses, or whatever the cliche is. I don't know that there's ever really a right or wrong answer. I think there's a greater good call, and ultimately that's the one you have to make. But I think even that could still be up for debate, and we don't really know what's next. You know, as of now, we've heard from Tony Khan. We haven't heard from CM Punk. We don't know all the details of the release. At the all-out media scrum, Tony did not want to share details of the release as far as whether or not there was a non-compete, things like that. I assume this will become a legal issue. Usually when people use a phrase like for cause, then it becomes a legal issue.
And for helping our show. There was guess what? There was a little backstage problem with CM Punk this week. I know.
Again?
Yeah. That's the face of disbelief.
Jesus.
What are you hearing? When's enough? Perry and Punk, I guess, both suspended. I don't know the terms of it.
Honest to God, I mean, this is in all seriousness. What I take from this whole thing is he needs serious help. He needs mental health.
Do you think?
Yes. Yes.
You don't think this is a behavior disorder?
Well, it's what is mental health?
Yeah, I guess, but an attitude.
No.
I finally found it. I found the Crimea River chant. Yeah, these people are rude. These people are rude. These people are nuts, bro. Whew. You would think CM Punk just did a Chris Benoit with the way he's being treated right now, honestly. Wow. Oh, brother. AEW really shit-canned CM Punk and had an all-timer pay-per-view the next night with him getting loud boos in his own city. I know he's drowning 40 bottles of Pepsi at the crib. CM Punk let Jack Perry get the best of him, which cost him his job, and now your fans turned against you. He took 2 L's. Wow. This Crimea River thing is great, though. That's legit. Like, I really like that. That's good shit. It's PG, too, so they're not going to bleep it out or anything like that, so that works.
This is it's when it becomes destructive.
Wait a minute. Put this on a T-shirt and thank Jack Perry for making you a couple $1 million. If Tony Khan was smart, he would make a Crimea River shirt. You know, what would you put on it though? Like, who would be the crying? Who would be the crying person? It can't be Phil. So who would it be? So I don't know. Sad.
You go out when there's a chance of this costing you millions of dollars, and you just continue to push and push and push.
I think it's become his calling card in a way. He wasn't doing this shit in Ring of Honor. Was he a pro?
Yes, he was. He got into he almost got into a fight with Kevin Owens over a T-shirt. So he's been a nut job. That's why I don't think it's CTE. He's been on that bullshit. He's been on that bullshit a while. Now he wasn't doing that shit in WWE though. Like he wasn't, starting fights then either. But in Ring of Honor, that's when I think it was TNA when he got into the fight with Teddy Hart, right?
In Ring of Honor, I never heard from anyone that he was a problem.
I don't know. I think he was with LA Knight there. I don't know.
I don't know. This has kind of become an identity. The difficult one.
Well, yeah. I mean, but
you a little bit. You had that a little bit. You might walk into a locker room and get a little loud. Maybe turn to someone and go, okay, how to do.
All right. I have to say AEW's brand loyalty definitely needs to be studied. It took WWE over 10 years to get rid of those hardcore CM Punk chants. I'm here in Chicago at All Out, and the crowd was chanting, "Oh, Crimea River," which is what Jack Perry said to CM Punk at All In. Well, you have to take into account the dirt sheets were actually on CM Punk's side that time. When Vince and all these guys were telling you that CM Punk was a jackass, you didn't want to believe it. But then when the dirt sheets tell you that he's a jackass in AEW, you did believe it, and therefore you're not cheering for him like you used to. It's really that thing. They did a really good job of creating a soft landing for these guys, and so when he finally got fired, it was sensible. People were like, finally, it took you so long to do it. Nobody was expecting that. But everybody's talking about how Chicago was very nice to the elite. Well, I would think that most of the people who knew CM Punk was getting fired wouldn't have showed up anyway. They probably sold their tickets, and elite fans managed to get them. But also, the AEW is very elite friendly. I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's the company they started, for Christ's sake. Why wouldn't the bulk of the crowd anyway be on their side? Like, why wouldn't it be? It turns out CM Punk's arms were too short to box with Khan. Ooh. Oof. 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 Oh, brother. These people are, there's so many, the crazy thing is there's so many GIFs and different things like that. It's hard to find a steady stream of things to work on here. But this has been kind of nutso, you know. And if you're a CM Punk fan, how you feel right now, you know? like, like how deep are you in your feelings right now? It's been very unfortunate, very very unfortunate. Jack Perry should be fired. He broke the new rules John Khan just set live on television. Well, the issue here is that who's going to enforce the rules? That's that's the thing, you know, like if you don't enforce the rules, then so what? We knew that from the beginning when they was talking about those damn rules. We knew nobody was going to enforce them. So it wasn't too much of a problem. Old timers like Jim Cornette and others, that's what the shirt should be for. You think they're going to try to use Jim Cornette's picture with tears rolling down the face? I think that ought to be the audio for every Smart Tier segment. It should be Old Crimea River. We should probably finish every video with that. You know, and I'm thinking about it. I'm really considering it and making that the outro to every Smart Tiers from now on. You know, or the intro, one of the two. And I like the idea. Now that I think about it, I like that idea. I'm actually loving it. Crossface Ray. So is Jack Perry fired or did he just get suspended? He's suspended indefinitely, which we don't know what that means. We don't know what it means to be suspended indefinitely. He's certainly suspended until I guess people forget about it, and then all of a sudden he's going to be back, and then people are going to remember it again, and then who knows what's going to happen from there. But it's special. It's going to be an interesting time when he comes back, because that's when the shit going to start all over again. You know, it's going to start all over again from that point forward. Oh. They should fire Jack off Perry too. They should have been. Yeah. I mean, a suspension is fair. You know, firing Jack Perry for being a douche. You know, yes, it's sensible, but it's not exactly like it is what it is. You know, like you can't do much about that. You know, I'm not saying I would fire the guy for being an asshole. I will most certainly consider firing him if I have to fire CM Punk too. Like I said yesterday, if I had to fire my top guy, the elite would lose one too. If I gotta lose one, y'all gotta lose one too. You know, you know, you gotta. I can't let myself be the only one taking a loss out of here. And it's pretty crazy. I can tell you that much. And it's a real sad time out here for everybody. And there's people playing with the video games and shit. Oh man. Well, the question people don't ask is why Tony Khan put so many titles in front of himself. That he's a general manager, president, head booker, etc., etc. No, they were not zero tolerance policies. No, 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 no. It was, you got to have it run by a producer first. I mean, you have to get your producer's opinion first, and you have to get your producer's permission first. But again, if your producer is your friend, they're gonna let them do whatever they want, and it defeats the point of the fucking rules in the first place. If anybody can do whatever they want, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's just really not much you can do. All right, it's looking like we're gonna have to wrap this thing up because I'm not seeing anything fun. All right, let's go through a little bit more. Stone Mexican guy. It says the CM Punk drama is annoying at this point. Dude was just miserable. He's always miserable, and he's always been miserable. It's always been this way. You know, it's always been this way. What can you do? You know, people didn't believe it. They thought it was just WWE, you know, kicking him in the nuts over and over and over again, and he had anything to do with it. And then anytime somebody made a comment about him, people were like, "Oh, that's not true. CM Punk is great. It's not true." Just like Vince said that there was something about Claudio that wasn't connecting with people, and everybody was like, "Vince is full of shit." And then he went to AEW, and now he's, you know, John Moxley's sidekick, and nobody is saying anything anymore. They're just kind of like over it, you know. CM Punk's long history of narcissistic behavior is TK's fault, the Elite's fault, the fans' fault, Donald Trump's fault, and LeBron James' fault. It's everybody's fault but his. Oh, that's crazy. Well, there goes my interest in AEW. Punk was one of the last stars I was excited to see on screen. It will be really interesting to see what happens to the Collision ratings. Has the ratings for Collision come back yet? I don't think they have. But WWE was running a pay-per-view that night, so who knows? It might be worse than ever. They might not actually give a shit. I don't think they care anymore. Everybody's friends again. Everybody's happy. You could turn the ratings around, I would imagine. So there it is. You know, it is what it is.
Stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Oh, did we just figure that out? No, everybody in the room, like, it's like, oh, no, did he say that? Yeah, no, he's a jerk. Come on. We figured it out over there. We knew it over here. I don't want him back. Go do something else. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Philly Phil, stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever.
Every time I see that clip, I just die laughing, bro. Every time I see that clip, I laugh. I can't tell if he's in character, but I don't think it matters at this point because he called him Philly Phil. He says, "Stay away from me forever." And they want him to go back to that company? I don't think so. Roman was still mad about it last year. I'm pretty sure AJ probably forgot about it by now, but I know I didn't forget. He called AJ Styles a racist. That was some bullshit right there, boy. The oddball things is 90% of that is CM Punk. Seth Rollins sounds like he waves rainbow flags while drinking Bud Light at Target. That's 90% CM Punk, except for it would have been a Pepsi. He'd be drinking Pepsi in the Target parking lot. Amazing. Just amazing. This is... I don't know. What more can you ask for, though? I don't think he's wanted in that locker room. I don't think he's very well liked. I'm pretty sure with the right amount of money they'll get over it, but he's not very well liked. And it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. Could you imagine him getting signed to WWE and the first thing he says to goddamn Seth Rollins, "You got a problem with me? You got a problem with me?" And kicking over the desks and shit. "You got a problem with me? You got a problem with me?" You're like, oh God, yes, I have a problem with you. Oh, brother. Going to be hilarious if AEW lose the Warner deal. The thing is, we've been saying that for a while now, in terms of Tony Khan's friend has been fired. Like his friend that worked at Warner Brothers doesn't work there anymore. So it's very interesting that they're still on the air, despite the fact that his friend is gone. You know, but a lot of this stuff has been Tony Khan says this, Tony Khan says that, and it hasn't been proven. You know, we haven't. Nothing has come out and said that they really are well liked by Warner Brothers, other than a couple of press releases here and there. You know, but we'll see. Oi, Tony Khan, listen, you bug-eyed, coked-up, giant, hairless pussy bitch boy who spent his dad's money. Money mark, fuck you. Collision will now be Rampage 2.0. Your roster and you are softer than soft-serve ice cream. If you were a real, you would be whistling Strangers in Paradise. What? What? Oi! He literally starts it with O-I. Oi! Tony Khan! Look at me, little jacket. Oh, these people, they suck. Sheesh. I've said it before, I will say it again. Tony Khan isn't cut out for the wrestling business. If a standard backstage fight makes you think your life is in danger, you are 100% in the wrong line of work. Again, Tony Khan comes across as weak and pathetic. Yes, sir. But it is what it is. Again, this guy has no experience with violence. He just doesn't have it. You know, he does. I don't even know if he watches like UFC or boxing or anything like that. His own experience with violence is ECW. What do you expect? Like, really? You know. That's crazy. Boy. Release the footage, then you fucking mark. They want him to release the footage of what happened. I don't think that footage is going to come out in any other way than somebody backdoor getting a recording of it. Otherwise, AEW is going to get that thing under lock and fucking key. They are not going to let anybody see that. Now, it would be funny if they get sued and they have to release the video. Then Punk can at least see it and see what happened, and he might leak it to the internet or something like that. It is what it is. Among the many things Shad Khan forgot to teach his son, professionalism and sincerity are two of them. Because this guy is nothing more than an unprofessional, pathetic-looking, insincere prick. Tony Khan legitimately is hurt by this. You know? Oh, yes, I heard that ridiculous story. I talked about it during my Raw review. It's ridiculous. You know, I don't believe that for one bit that he wanted to wrestle Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That, for starters, that was not going to be a main event. That was not going to happen. Second, that was in the middle of the Bloodline storyline. They were not going to take Kevin Owens out of that storyline to put him in a match with CM Punk. That was not going to happen. You know? People don't think about stuff before they say shit. And yes, Kevin Owens was still a part of that storyline at that time. Because him and Sami Zayn was going through it. ECW kind of started all of this madness, which is why pro wrestling has suffered. And the reason why a lot of companies these days take the inspiration by heart. I guess inspiration by heart. I get it, but There were some backstage fights in ECW, but I don't think there was a history of a lot of them. I know Rob Van Dam and Taz got into a fight. I just read Todd Gordon's book, and he talked about quite a few fights that took place in there, but it wasn't like a lot. It was only like, certain people who rubbed each other the wrong way. They would occasionally have an issue, but mostly they were able to point their anger at people who didn't work there, like Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. It's a professional environment. The ECW guys were bonded by their love of drugs, by the way, too. They all did drugs all the time. They were hanging out, getting high. The level of ass whooping CM Punk was giving Perry made Tony feel for his life was in danger. I've seen a lot of fights, but never one where I felt my life was threatened as someone else is beat down. I don't think he's even that bad, man. Just Tony comes across as being very soft, but he's speaking in legalese. He's saying that we did this for a reason, and that CM Punk probably is not going to be able to sue us, even though he'd probably try anyway. I fully expect there to be a lawsuit, bro. I fully expect a lawsuit. It probably won't get launched until next year, but I fully expect a lawsuit. Vader FTP. If you think about it, CM Punk was fired by the nicest pro wrestling promotion of all time, with quite possibly the nicest current American CEO. That is absolutely true. He is probably the kindest CEO ever because he's a fan of these guys and he's always liked them. He has nothing against them. He respects them. He loves them. And this is how they treat him. It's crazy. Tony Khan is a pussy. You had 1 year to fix things to prevent this. You didn't do shit. You just hit the iceberg, and the Titanic is sinking. Hope Daddy forgives you for wasting his money. Also, to say this is legally stupid. I'm done with AEW outside of MJF. How many times have fans said, I'm done, but I'm going to, just one last thing. Just one last thing. Oh my God, I'm done, but I want to watch MJF. I'm done watching this, but I want to watch WrestleMania. I remember when I was done, I didn't watch shit. When I said I wasn't watching wrestling no more, brother, I didn't watch anything. I watched clips because my brothers were watching it. Like, I would come in and they would be watching it. I would look and I'd be like, okay. I'll see some shit that I don't want to see. 15-minute Triple H promo is terrible. I'm like, no, thank you. And I go away. And it wasn't, I got to give my brothers credit, though. They did get me back in when they showed me TNA. I thought that was hilarious. But again, JBL chasing Mexicans. Boy, Jesus Christ. That brought me back all the way in because I had to know what the hell was going to happen from that. He brought me back to wrestling. He brought me back to watching wrestling weekly back in 2021. No one other can do it for me. All the smear campaigns, children backstage, fucked with him. This company, all of them together tried to run this out. Thanks, Phil. Oh, God. No one else can do it for me. What on earth? No one else can do it for me. Ew. This fucking piece of shit. He let the backstage drama boil. He's talking about Tony Khan. He let the backstage drama boil over for God knows how long, and now he's trying to come across as the victim. The insincerity is staggering. I think he's very sincere, actually. I don't think he wanted to fire CM Punk. Again, he looks at these guys like they're his friends. So he doesn't want to fire his friends. Why would he want to fire a friend? He likes this guy. It's very bizarre that we would think that he would want to fire a guy that he loved, that he courted into coming back. He wanted that. This is what he wanted. I said yesterday we were going to listen to Russell talk. So because I couldn't find any other comments to read, we're going to play a little bit of Wrestle Talk. So if you get cancer or some other disease from this, I apologize. But we're gonna look, and we can't have dead air. That's why I don't do this stuff live. We can't have dead air. So we're gonna just let Wrestle Talk play until I find something. And then I'm trying to wrap this up probably at 7:45.
Welcome to the Wrestle Talk News. Another breaking news video done by me, the ODAD, from my home on my bad iPhone. Apologies if this is not the usual quality that you're expecting from the Wrestle Talk News, although at least this one doesn't look like it's a bit hazy, or is it a wonky angle? But anyway, let's cut to the chase, everyone, because AEW have released a statement that CM Punk has been fired by All Elite Wrestling. Now, of course, the correct terminology to use be terminated, because that's what they have in their statement. I'll read you the statement.
Oh no, we're not going through that statement again.
See this news, which may come as a discussion. There you have it, everyone. CM Punk is officially gone from AEW, fired, terminated, quit, whichever way you want to do it. One of the reports that came out earlier this week following Brawl In was that Punk had threatened to quit at All In itself, and Samoa Joe more or less had to convince him to go out and do their match. So if you have been under a rock for the past week, this stems from an argument that Punk and Jack
there's something about this bland European shit that's getting on my nerves.
TV is going on vacation to Hawaii.
I hate it.
The CM Punk chants. Oh my God.
And head of and stadium Phil Brooks before Collision to inform them of the news. Khan publicly expanded on the release statement in a video package that opened the Collision broadcast. Today, this show on every what and the why. Top AEW talent like Hangman Page and Christopher Daniels not being allowed on Collision. Punk having a backstage argument with Ryan Nemeth. Punk cutting an unscripted promo on Hangman Page, which, the other way round, is what started all this last May. Punk potentially pulling out of Collision because his close friend Ace Steel wasn't allowed to be there in person due to his involvement in the previous September's backstage fight. Unless there's clear video footage evidence, though, there's usually two sides to every story. For Punk's defense, House of Wrestling has reported in the wake of his firing that a sit-down reconciliation meeting between Punk and the Elite was planned for the week of All In, but it was called off at the last minute by the Elite's camp. The meeting was reportedly supposed to have Tony Khan present and was meant to bury the hatchet between both sides. The cancellation of it appears to have added to Punk's overall frustrations with the situation heading into the event. House of Wrestling is the website of Nick Hausman, the wrestling reporter Punk actually targeted at the All In press conference last year for being friends with Colt Cabana, after which he launched into his shoot promo. Brian Alvarez has subsequently denied Hausman's report, writing there was no meeting booked. The Elite was approached about it and shot it down. There is currently no update on Jack Perry or Ace Steel's positions in AEW. In terms of the rest of the roster, PW Insider is reporting the reaction to Punk's termination depends on the person. Some are really down on it. Others, as you can imagine, feel it was the right move and are happy about it. There are some who have relayed they're just happy Tony Khan
what is
made
this?
the
Is this
decision,
just
and that they hope
news?
to just
It's just news. Just news. Jesus, these guys suck. You guys actually watch this stuff? I can't. I don't know how you guys can do it. I've tried. These guys are just fast talking Europeans. Well, we got Cultaholic. I guess they're gonna be the last ones left. Let's see. Let's see here. We're going to play their audio while we look for something else to read. I said I was going to wrap this thing up at 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's 6 minutes from now. It'll be about 7:50 because we got to get ready for NXT. So, and I actually enjoy NXT, so I'm definitely going to be on point for NXT. But let's get to one more reaction from Punk.
Punk is done with AEW in the wake of All In and the backstage confrontations that we heard and reported about. We know that CM Punk and Jack Perry were suspended, and in the last few minutes, Adam, a statement has come from AEW.
Absolutely. The official X account posting the following statement from Tony Khan on Borgman.
books at AEW. This was such a big get for him. And for a while, it felt like maybe there was special attention for CM Punk, and that's not the case anymore. He's gone. He's done.
No, I think that special attention was at the beginning certainly warranted. We saw the impact that CM Punk had on various AEW metrics, everything from viewing figures to merch sales. He brought them a tremendous amount of money in. So this isn't a decision that will have been easy to make at all. I think some of the wording here is especially interesting. Nevertheless, I'm making the decision in the best interest of the many amazing people who make AEW possible every week, and then goes on to say talent, staff, etc.
Let's end this on a better note.
Straight edge man. The first ever straight edge world heavyweight champion. I think Christian said it best. CM Punk, I think you're a nerd. I made CM Punk a fucking superstar. And that's a fact, Jack. And I'll end it like this. We can't do that shit in your company anymore. But in this world, we can do it all we want to. You should follow me. You should listen to my preaching because it's going to get you to life. It'll make you live right way. CM Punk, the way is not the right way, brother. That's what's cool about planet Earth. We're all different. We're all like you. Man, I would rather live on Pluto than you, my friend.
I'd rather live on Pluto. Jeff is so fucked up here. Oh, God.
Way too cocky. Inside and outside the ring. It's kind of strange when you come see home with the show. You got guys like Undertaker, hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? All these other guys, hey, Jeff, how's everything going? I made you straight edge superstar you are. I still don't believe that because I think they take Abby and go to sleep, motherfucker. That's the description if you didn't know it. So, I have no idea what CM Punk still is with Amy Rob. I do know. He is very dramatic, very emotional. Anytime she finds herself in a tough spot, she calls.
The interesting thing about this is that Matt Hardy and his wife were making fun of CM Punk on Twitter, on what was that, TikTok? And this video was 10 years old. The one that the Hardys were fucked up in a restaurant eating French fries and saying that CM Punk is a nerd. This was 10 years ago. And now Matt Hardy and his wife are making fun of CM Punk and smoking that CM Punk pack after he got fired from AEW. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. So I guess we're about to wrap this thing up. And as I promised, we're going to go out to the sounds of Chicago singing "Oh Cry Me a River." Thank you all for showing up on short notice. Enjoy NXT if you're watching NXT, which you should. And this will be the last CM Punk video until he responds. And whenever that happens, will probably be sooner rather than later. But thank you all for your time. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.